Hello, hello. Hello to you, beautiful people. It's Tiffany Rose Quinones, and you are listening to Beyond Confidence. I know it's been a little bit, and believe you me, I've got a very powerful message for you today. Today's message, I'm going to ask you to keep an open heart and mind as you listen and spirit. And today I'm handing you a mirror and a blueprint and a map to get you unstuck out of the loop. And maybe if you're not stuck in a loop, maybe you'll see today different areas in your life where perhaps you find that there is a loop that you just can't seem to undo or get out of. And you realize that it happens every now and again. And so today, if you've been feeling exhausted and you're over it, or you've been disconnected from yourself lately, then today is for you. If you've been hearing yourself say things like, I'm just tired, I don't know what I want anymore, I just need to push through, then this is for you today. I want you to know that I see you, and I don't see you with judgment. Excuse me. I don't see you with pity. I don't look down on people. I see you with power. That's how I see you. Because I have been there. And I have also made the decision that I will not live there anymore. So this episode isn't about fixing. It's about remembering. It's about you waking up to the truth that survival is no longer your identity. You don't belong in the pit, my friend. You are too powerful to pretend it feels like home anymore. So I hope you grabbed your favorite drink. I hope you grabbed a notebook and a pen, or maybe you just want to listen. And then this will be available for you to go back and take notes if that's what you desire to do. So I raise my coffee cup to you. I say cheers. Let's take a drink. And now let's dive in. So what does survival look like? Oh yeah, I'm going to go here today. Survival looks like saying, oh, I'm fine. Uh-huh. You know that question that everyone asks, how are you? Right? Or the one, how's it going? Right? And it's like we don't really know what to say. So what do we say? We say, oh, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. When actually we are liars, right? Because deep inside, we might actually be breaking down. I'm going to use this as an example, right? We all go through stuff in our lives. There's things that happen. There's circumstances that fly at us, right? On April 8th, 2025, I found out that my birth mom passed away. I was born, and then by the time I was 1, placed in foster care till after I graduated, both biological parents decided that alcohol was their go-to. So of course they already chose what their lifestyle was going to be, and we weren't a part of that. They wanted us to be, not really, but so it was hard for me to say I'm fine. And I realized that at that moment, I just decided to say I'm okay. And I will never forget that someone, has this ever happened to you? You say I'm okay or I'm all right. And then you say it for a little bit, and then someone might come along and question you and try to make you feel like you're supposed to just be good and on your A game all the time. And it's like, well, bullshit, right? No, there's things going on, and inside I feel like I'm dying. I feel sad. I feel broken. I feel torn apart. You can fill in the blank for however you feel, but that fake it till you make it? Yeah, today I'm calling bullshit. By the way, if you have small children around, I am an unfiltered, authentic chick, okay? You can put your headphones in or earplugs, whatever you want to call them, earpods, and if unless you don't care if your kids hear this. So that's part of what survival looks like. survival can also look like overworking and calling it, ready? Success. Because we tie success to how much we give to whatever it is we're doing, but career is at the top. Or maybe you have a business and overworking. Have you noticed that people brag when they say how many hours per week they're working? Or you have the flip side. People look at how many hours they're working per week, 70, 90 hours per week, even as a business owner, and yet somehow it's tied to success. Like we have to overwork ourselves and it's like overperform. And it's like, why? Turns into exhaustion. Survival also looks like performing confidence, but you are collapsing behind the scenes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you have a business, somebody messages you, and you're like, yes, bring in the money, right? I'm going to help some people. They want to hire me, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe you own a brick and mortar business where you have to go, unlock the doors, flip the open sign, right? From closed to open, and you turn on the lights. You take a deep breath and you're like, oh, here I am again. Or let's go, right? Maybe you're energized. Or maybe your survival loop looks like you're hyped up on 2 monster drinks, 3 cups of espresso, and also lots of sugar just to get by, right? I've been there. Except for me, I spent $250 a month on Starbucks. Yeah, I was that chick. But now I don't drink Starbucks. I think that's horrible coffee. But that's just me. You do you. I will do me. Okay. I drink a coffee brand that's called Bulletproof, and it has all the toxins that's taken out of it, like mold and stuff. So that way my digestion isn't wrecked. And I have clarity, I have focus, and no cobwebs. And I don't need more than like 1 cup, except this morning I'm having 1.5 cups because I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night. And my body's like, you're good, sister. And I'm like, okay. And so I realized though that grabbing the coffee, grabbing the things to keep me awake, I used to grab because it was familiar, right? And so doing the same thing, overworking, the performing, the putting on that smile, and we're like dying inside, right? Saying, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, right? It's familiar. And we stay in that loop because the land of familiar is what many have called socially acceptable, right? But the familiar doesn't require identity level change. There's a book. Go to your Amazon, put it in your cart. It's called The Dream Giver. It's by Dr. Bruce Wilkinson. And I refer to that book a lot. It is actually my most favorite book because it talks about exactly that, staying in the land of familiar. And the names of the people in the book are called Nobody, Ordinary, and I forget what the rest of the people are called. But I'm like, isn't that interesting? We go do the same thing. We're stuck in a survival loop, and yet we love the familiar, and we're not required to change, which is why also people that are also stuck in the same loop, it isn't until we start growing that we realize that, oh, shoot, I've been stuck in a loop. Or someone like myself comes and turns on a light. And then you start to realize, oh, shit, how long have I been stuck in this loop? Oh. And so now things start to change. Survival is not sustainable. We think it is, but it's not. We cannot rise up and self-abandon at the same time. Self-abandonment, I'm going to use some examples. It is where you stop giving yourself permission to reclaim your energy. It's where you stop setting boundaries. It's where when you wake up in the morning, it's where we let the day control us instead of us taking control of our day. Self-abandonment looks like saying yes to things that drain us when our soul is crying out and saying, You were supposed to say no. You were supposed to say no to that 60th client at 5 p.m. You're supposed to say no to overtime if it's taking time away from your family just because the paycheck is great. You're supposed to say no to hanging out with those draining friends that suck the life right out of you. But instead we say yes. Yes to things that cause burnout. That is self-abandonment, and we can't rise at the same time. Reclamation, which I love the word reclamation. If you haven't heard of the word reclamation before, it is something that takes you through I call it different levels. It causes people to get out of the pit. It requires an honest moment, not a whole plan. It requires a moment where you take a look in the mirror, right? And you ask yourself, what am I doing, right? And then you start asking yourself some questions like, how do I get out of this loop? What can I do to break free? What can I do to get that breakthrough? What can I do to reclaim myself again? Now, you don't need a whole plan. You don't need a whole strategy. You don't need to create a whole, blueprint for all this. You just need to make a decision that you are going to walk through that reclamation and continue walking through. Because, if you think about it, it's the thing that many don't know that they need in order to break free from this survival loop and survival pattern. When we normalize burnout, we delay our breakthrough. That's what happens. We delay it. We don't reach the breakthrough that we so desire when we keep normalizing staying in burnout mode. When we keep normalizing abandoning self, when we keep normalizing survival mode, when we keep normalizing staying in the same familiar loop. Several like familiar loops could be having the same watered down conversations that don't bring fruit or don't add life, suck the life right out of you. Familiar loop, I talked about friends. Who you have in your circle is important, who you allow at your table. Staying in a familiar loop can cause you to hang around people that aren't growing, that are full of complaining, don't have a vision, and they suck the life right out of you with their energy. Familiar loop is getting the same career, staying in the same career because it's comfortable and because you know it, right? It's familiar. And it could even be staying in the same type of career field. And so all of that's only sustainable for a short amount of time. But it isn't until we rise up and wake up and we look in the mirror, right? There's that Snow White mirror, mirror on the wall. I posted something today that started with that. Then I continued with, how long are you going to crawl? We can continue to crawl, or we can rise up, walk, and then run, right? Or just walk. I don't know about you. I don't run anymore. I used to until I got a hamstring injury, and then running is just not for me anymore. So I don't need to run. And so when you start moving out of burnout and you stop normalizing it, this is where you start reclaiming parts of your life, and it's rather refreshing. There's like an awakening that happens. And so I created some powerful things. I created the Badass Empowerment Guide because I got tired of watching my own life staying in a familiar loop of comfort and familiarity. I got tired of abandoning myself. I got tired of living in survival mode. And I also have watched powerful people shrink and stay in survival. And I decided that that is no longer an option for me anymore. So I went through a reclamation. And so I created a guide that it's a reclamation ritual. It isn't a fluffy workbook. You will walk away with tools to name your patterns and get real about your energy, figure out where your energy is going. reclamation prompts to remind you who the hell you are and bring you back home to yourself. Power statements that you can post, speak, or carry into every room you walk into. It's very simple. It's potent. It's yours to keep. It is $7. You can grab it and meet your next level. It's a beautiful reclamation guide. I also have a membership called the Badass Empowerment Collective. Now, what I talked about today is exactly what is inside the membership. And so I want to be very clear. It's not just a women's circle, okay? It is a reclamation space for high performers, visionaries, leaders, and change makers who are done performing, done spiraling, and done pretending to be okay while slowly burning out. Inside the Badass Empowerment Collective, you will learn how to lead from identity instead of urgency and pressure. You know, that pressure to perform. Yeah, that gets tossed out in our membership. You will reclaim your energy without guilt. You will set boundaries with clarity and zero apology. You will stop abandoning yourself. You will give yourself permission to reclaim your energy. You will return to your truth again and again on your terms, and you will speak it unapologetically and unashamedly. And you will stop chasing perfection. You will stop chasing performance. That's what happens inside the Badass Empowerment Collective. There's no Zoom burnout. There's no overcoaching. It's an on-the-go voice-led power and reflection space that fits your life, your leadership, and your nervous system. You don't have to stay in there all darn day. It's not a job. It's an empowerment hub, a reclamation hub. That's exactly what it is. And this space is for anyone ready to come home to themselves. It's not just for women, because I know that this isn't just it's not just one specific group of people deal with this. No, it's more than one person, but I'm speaking to the specific person. And you'll want to be in there because your soul has been speaking to you. You're like, man, I don't know what this chick is saying, but I know that I got to get in there. So if this episode called something out in you, good. Don't just listen to it. Live it. Become it. Reclaim it. Don't keep hiding and don't keep diluting your truth to be digestible. I handed you a mirror today. Now use it. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all? That would be you. And I'm going to leave you with this. Post the mirror. Speak the truth. And don't you dare apologize for your power. Ever. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. You don't need another plan. You just need to reclaim what's already yours. You ready? Let's go.